What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Uh, we need guns. Look, I mean black people. A lot of times, I don't really understand how people feel like we shouldn't bear arms. I never registered to me. As a person who grew up in the hood, a person who lived in different places, person who's doesn't live in the hood no anymore, I don't see a reason that we don't need guns in all scenarios. Tell you why. When you're in the hood, it never made sense to me how you could be in the hood or in the bad part of the hood. Because being in the hood or just a black neighborhood is not a bad thing. Being in a bad neighborhood, that's a bad thing. But if you're in a bad neighborhood and where I grew up, let's just put it like this. When I went to college, it took me a long time to be able to go to sleep because it was quiet. No gunshots, no sirens, no helicopters. I wasn't accustomed to that because of where I grew up. But saying that, I never understood people who adults who lived in that environment or parents who lived in that environment and didn't have no guns. You know, oh, I don't, all these people out here shooting and killing, and you just gonna sit there? Duh, what the fuck you gonna do? Like, that never made sense to me. As an adult, got outside of that. Yeah, reasonable neighborhood. Um, I never understood that because if you're in a reasonable neighborhood, that means you have good people, bad people mixed together. And that means you got good people minding their business and bad people trying to see who they can fuck over. So they do stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know what happens. And I will say this: the better the neighborhood, normally the more crime. And a lot of people think it's the reverse. Poverty is crime everywhere. Yeah, it's crime across the board. But when you're in a poor neighborhood, the crime, it's overt, it happens, and people are like, oh, when you get in a better neighborhood, the crime is subtle and not reported as much. And then when you get in a good neighborhood, everybody tries to keep it hush hush. So crime is happening all the time. It's just that, you know, the better the neighborhood, there are more people, there are more neighbors will hide it because they don't want the bad stigma on the area. The people probably won't call the police. People won't. People get their can afford lawyers and they sweep shit under the rug that shouldn't be swept under the rug. That kind of thing. So in all scenarios, I was like, yeah, because there's bad people everywhere doing bad shit. Now, black women. I never understood a grown woman. I don't want to have a gun. I'm a single lady living by myself, and I just think that what the fuck? Protect yourself. You know why? And it bothers me to see sisters go out, put themselves in all these reckless situations where it can go left, like lambs to the slaughter. Like, I just, uh, oh my God, being a woman means I can just do any stupid thing. And a raper, if a rapist's gonna come, oh, I'm a woman, you gotta stop. A killer's gonna come, oh, I'm a woman, you gotta stop. Kidnapper's gonna come, oh, I'm a woman, bitch, please. That's how y'all keep getting raped, killed, kidnapped, and all kinds of shit keep happening to you, cause all you gonna go at 2 in the morning, who the fuck gonna hear you? So you need to, or going around, people going around in atmospheres that are, let's say, not your race because you're tired of your race of people, and then you wind up the only black girl in a non-black establishment. You really think they're gonna say something if something happened to you? You really think people gonna bat an eye if something? That's why you need a gun. Brothers, y'all worse at this. I can't believe in 2014 that we're still dealing with racism. I can't believe you're a fucking idiot in 2014. People say, yo, people are intimidated by us black men. Well, that's a reason to carry a gun. People say, you know, what is a gun gonna do? Well, it'll shoot back at a motherfucker shooting at you, and they gonna think twice. You know, if they didn't stop making them for one, see, me personally, if I know everybody has some fake ass fear for me being a black man, I'm not gonna walk around unarmed because you're armed and scared of me with the ability to shoot me out of quote unquote fear that I may do something. Like I'm just gonna snap off and go, Shaka Zulu and just I don't know him. I just want to kill him. Get the fuck out of here. We don't do that kind of stuff. So me personally, if I know I'm a threat every day to any and everybody outside of my race and people scared in my race, I'm loaded. It is what it is. If I got to go, you got to go. I'm not going without a fight. I value my life. You may not. You may think it's easy to take. Well, you just gonna find out it ain't that easy to take. Okay, another thing. And I know I cussed earlier. I was trying not to cuss, but whatever. As a parent, you seeing kids get gunned down left and right. Think about it. Think about it. They doing it for a reason. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to put some scenarios out. I went to the mall. I probably talked about these a long time ago. I went to the mall. Me and my son went to we went to the mall to get him some clothes. White guy in the truck feels I don't belong in this neighborhood that I live in. Follows me in the mall parking lot. Parks across from me. Gets out the car with me and my son tells me, and I'm like, dude, you following me? He's like, oh, well, really don't have nothing to say because I guess he thought I was going to bow down to him because he's white dude. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. But make a long story short, the guy tells me I'm lucky I'm with my son. And I tell the guy, you know what? You lucky I'm with my son because I would have killed you. As a matter of fact, if you ever follow me again, I will kill you. And we both were outside of our cars. So he knew at that particular point, he can't go reach for his shit. And I was going to tear his ass up. Then I'm going to get to another story. This little kid in my neighborhood, this little Hispanic kid, think it was a good idea to keep hopping my fence. Let's keep hopping my fence. One day I came from work, fell asleep, and I heard a 6, 7 o'clock at night. It happened to be dark, fall, whatever, dark. And he did it again. So the next time he did it, I realized he kept doing it at certain times. So when he did it this one time, I was in my backyard and I had my shit in my hand. I said, look, you do that again, I'm going to shoot you. I almost shot you the other day when you hopped the fence. Because you don't really think about people, as soon as you hop somebody's fence, any person who has the mindset to jump on another person's property is the people that's going to go into the mindset of breaking and entering. That's just what it is. I really don't give a shit how you view it. If you're going to be jumping through people's property, kid or no kid, it's going to escalate because you're going to get comfortable doing it. So the kid, it didn't register to the kid how serious I was until he looked and was like, oh, maybe I didn't know, you was going to get shot like this? Okay, dumbass. So I had another incident. Police officer wanted to overstep his bounds and a speed trap. And he thought he had one. Then he realized I had one. Then he was like, whoa. I'm saying all that to say this. If you got to understand, this world is not the ideal world. Period. So if you don't live in this unethical, immoral, flawed world that we live in, You got to have the brains enough to protect yourself and your family. And if you don't, realize if in guns and weapons are a precautionary thing, really, but it will keep a lot of shit, you know, to a minimum if people actually was like, you know what, I'm not gonna mess with them because they loaded. You know, a lot of black people don't understand this is why we get gunned down so much because other people know they could gun us down because we don't have guns. I'm just saying.